Hello, this is One Black British Woman's Voice. I actually wasn't going to do any more of these today, but I'm just going to do one more. And this is going to be about, the title of it is going to be, There Are Two Types of Good Police. Now, I have very strong views about the police. Something happened to me in 2012, which I'll be touching on later on, whereby I was called nigger and the police ignored it. An onlooker also joined in with the racist abuse, claimed that I'd punched him in the face 3 times, and I was charged for it. And this onlooker ended up being a solicitor who works in immigration, which is also why I'm going to do videos on the legal system, not just police, in the coming few years, you know, just critiquing it and looking at the fact that we as black people who are richly harassed by the police and give our money to a legal profession that won't even call black people to the bar, which are peopled by all sorts of racists. Anyway, I digress. This video is, there are two types. There are 2 types of good police. There are only 2 types of police which are good, in my opinion. And they are the ones that work against human trafficking and sex cases, and the whistleblowers. The whistleblowers that go against the corrupt ones within their industry and lose their job from it. Those are the only 2 types. Outside of those 2 types, there are no good ones. Now, I know there are going to be some idiots that are going to come forward and spout the cliche, which is, well, who would you call if you were in trouble? Of course I'd call the police. My taxes pay for their wages. They're going to come. And legally, I can't round up friends and family, so I'm going to call the police, and the police will come and they will do their job because that's what they are paid to do. That is why I would call the police, and I have called the police because I have nuisance neighbours, etc, etc, etc. So please keep that tired phrase to yourself. Going back to what I said earlier on, though, there are only 2 types of good police. There are the ones that work against human trafficking and the abuse of children, and the whistleblowers. I'm not a mother, so I can't even begin to comprehend what it's like to get a phone call telling me that my daughter's been shot at 27 times, or my son has been dragged off their bike and had their face pummeled into a glass wall a number of times. I'm not. So if you think these views are strong, imagine how much stronger they would be if my child had been subjected to ritual humiliations of stop and searches and being beaten up and all the rest of it. I mean, I'm not a mother, but I have been someone that's been falsely accused, and the police took their side, even though numerous witness statements said that I was nowhere near this immigration solicitor. They took this person's side. So I would consider what happened to me to be a huge travesty, but I would also acknowledge that it's not quite on the same level as having my son shot and killed, beaten up, having my child murdered, and having the police let the murderers off. I'm not in that same severe. But it doesn't negate my feelings. It doesn't pass by the fact that I have every right to feel the way that I do. So again, there are only 2 good types of police officers. The whistleblowers and the ones that work in sex crime industries, the ones that combat that. All these other ones, you see these Channel 5 programs about these police officers that have arrested some lad driving home and he's got like 1 gram of marijuana. That is not impressive. Yes, I concur that smaller crimes, if you examine them, could lead on to bigger crimes. But the things they focus on, police turning up to throw people out of their houses, do you know? Like, none of the, like, seriously? There are only 2 good categories of police officers, the whistleblowers and the ones that work against human trafficking and sex crimes. The rest of them, you would have to write a foot-long, not even a foot-long, a 100-foot-long essay on why they're any of use. Which actually brings me to this. If there are any black people out there, not coons, please, coons, remove thyself, get thee hence. No coons, I don't care about your opinion. But if there are any black people out there who aren't coons that have an argument against what I think, please come forward, because actually it would be nice to be enlightened. It would be nice to be somewhat corrected. I mean, it would be hard to do, but you know, come on, black people, drop your comments in the boxes below and tell me why there are other police officers that would be worthy of merit, ones outside of those 2 categories that I've described. Anyway, this is my last vlog of the day. I'm tired, I'm hungry, and I certainly don't want to be thinking about police officers while I'm eating my curry goat and rice. So, One Black British Woman's Voice, and I'm out.